Hello everyone. Well, as I said before, I just got back from my viewing of How to Train Your Dragon 3 The Hidden World, the third and final trilogy based on the books of the same name, Prosthetic Hell, directed by Dean DeBloy, and as someone who's loved the trilogy for a really long time, I can definitely say that the hype is definitely real, that it's definitely a strong end to an excellent trilogy. I mean, even though I'm not going to spoil too much, I mean, even with the thumbnail I chose this video, if you want to know the significance of that, go see the movie, you'll know why. I mean, since this film takes place 1 year after the events of the second film, where sees Hiccup, again voiced by Jay Baruchel, as well as his fellow oh, denizens of Burke, such as Astrid, voiced by America Ferrera of TV's Ugly Betty fame, and not only trying to find a new home for the dragons they rescue, but also for themselves as they clash with a hunter named Grimmel, voiced by F. Murray Abraham. I had to say that I think it's definitely, without question, the most dangerous villain that the trilogy has seen. And one thing I've always liked most about these films is how all the heroes always have to formulate strategies in order to combat these new threats. And Grimmel's definitely the most effective one, given how he anticipates a lot of their moves, and he doesn't even bother with control or all in the usual sense. He just sees the dragons as means to an end and prefers their hunting into extinction and to using them as slaves. I mean, which is different from the Red Death or Drago Bloodfist, and it also seems to reveal that the events, hence in many ways he followed them, and also as a way, he knew Stoic, who in a past life is voiced by Gerard Butler. And the conflict with Hiccup is not just a physical one, but also a psychological one. In many ways, for a family film, it definitely has some of the most complex addressings of this idea in some time, and also he's definitely much more convincing and complex than Mahershala Ali's Vector was, man. In a sense, and visually, it's quite impressive. I mean, even though at $129 million, it's the most modestly budgeted entry in the trilogy, but it certainly doesn't look that way. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's arguably the best looking of the three films. That shows how fast that as technology evolved in such a short time. I mean, the world itself, once they show it on screen, and when they find it, it's fantastic. The use of lighting and color is definitely impressive, and even outside that, the environments they traverse, I mean, the effects they have for fog, smoke, and fire are just impressive. I mean, that's how realistic they look. Is just spectacular. If I see this movie again, I definitely can think this is one I definitely would like to see in 3D if possible. Since, especially with all these raids they do on these big, massive boats, once where the dragons being held hostage. And as usual, the designs are quite creative, all of them having unique personalities to them, including the new Light Fury, that Toothless is trying to court, while also trying to find and keep his fellow dragons safe. And while it's not quite as dark as I was expecting it to be, I do not want to underplay that this is definitely the darkest of the trilogy. Not in the sense of being total Game of Thrones level of content, but definitely in the sense of terms of story and characterization, where the crossroads is there, I mean, in many ways, it makes sense for the narrative and wasn't really forced at all, man. Sure, there were some things that leaned pretty hard in terms of foreshadowing, but overall, it was a natural progression over the past 9 years and years of the story. I mean, in a sense, I mean, it definitely had. I think it has a similar kind of vibe to the Harry Potter films, where over the for the narratives in and out of universe time frame, the audience grows with the characters. I mean, I definitely like the quality of that. And again, while it definitely is much different from the books in style and tone, it definitely works quite fantastically at its own merit. And despite how dark it is, the humor is obviously still there. I mean, in addition to all the lines getting all the laughs out of me, the body language drags themselves as still as expressive as ever. I mean, like the courtship Dan just mentioned a moment ago. There's no dialogue during that scene, but how expressive not only the dragons are, but also how Hegavision is trying to coach Toothless on what to do. It's just fantastic. I mean, I think they use that scene in some of the trailers as well, man. And of course, John Powell's score is every bit as impressive as ever. I mean, a lot of the costume designs and places they visited, that in addition to the usual medieval fantasy elements, I think that they also have some elements seen from other cultures, such as ancient China, Mongolia in there as well. Oh, and it's already seen some very positive, some excellent reception. Given how there more than 50 people in the theater when I was getting out of there, almost 60. I mean, hey, and the film's already made well over $50 million, and then its opening week and make it the best of trilogy. And while the box office this year's been kind of slow so far, I can definitely say that we're going to be off to the races really soon. I'll definitely address it and have that in the trailer talk in a moment or two, since it's nothing I have not just talked about before, but I'll address some things I might not have gotten a chance to talk about yet, and how I feel. I mean, and as for any other stories that could come out of this, well, I definitely think that even if they don't make any more movies, like a TV series, more of those could work. I mean, given how they've done well on Cartoon Network and Netflix, I mean, it definitely could work if they took that route, even for other digital streaming platforms, since, I mean, it's been a very fun journey over the past 9 years, and seeing DreamWorks change partnerships, release 3 different studios. The first one when they partnered with Paramount, second one's with Fox, and the third one has been with Universal, and they've come out swinging for that, I mean. So, and also Universal themselves changed hands a lot of times over the years, but that's not important right now. So, I'm going to give this film an excellent 4 stars out of 4, and with trailer time, I'm not going in particular order, but I'm just going to briefly address some of the things like Toy Story 4 looks funny, especially with the characters like Key and Peele are voicing, and like apparently they're part of that skit they had a while ago, and also their TV shows, well, I found to be hilarious, and even the previous film they did, Keanu, who definitely played a very different audience, but also was delightfully offbeat. I mean, Dumbo has potential. I mean, I definitely think I would not mistake Hank Burton's take for any other directors on it, since very few who have been able to really go through the same kind of style that he has. Like, it's a whole thing of trying, it's not only stuff of dreams, stuff of nightmares he can often craft as well. I mean, I can only tell like the pink elephant scene's gonna be really trippy. I mean, Aladdin and might be interesting, especially, I actually don't find Will Smith genie as bad as they say, but I'm already been laughing pretty hard, and as he himself once said, I ain't even mad. I don't think it's going to be as badly received as like the Rewind from last year. Here, and it also doesn't bother me too much given how Castellaneta was in the second movie as well as the TV show. I still think it'll be really interesting to see Guy Ritchie, who's directed a lot of these violent action gangster films, trying to direct a family film, though, man. And As for anything else I got in mind on that front, I'll just deal with that as it comes. All I want out of these potential remixes, or I want out of anyone, just for them to be good. That's all. The skeptic in me is usually concerned, but believe me, usually hopes they can pull it off, man. That's basically how I've been approaching a lot of stuff lately, really. And Captain Marvel, on that note, a lot of the people trying to beat all the treasures of film do not concern me right now, especially since I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Apart from maybe checking the Kree Skrull storyline they're adapting, I'm mostly going to be going in with the knowledge of the films in mind and not looking too much into the comic either, as I approached it, before. Spider-Man Far From Home obviously looks fun, and as I mentioned before, and I think that just about wraps it up for now. I definitely will be trying to bring you anything else as it happens. I'm going to be also working more on my biology assignments, so... And also, I'll definitely get you something for Pokemon Day, on Wednesday when I come back from class, maybe before I leave for it, and I will